everybody. Okay, if you're watching this video, you are wanting to see the tutorial on getting your color wheel started. So the very first thing we're going to do is sketch out what all of this should look like. So the first thing we'll do is measure from the bottom of your paper 1 inch. We're bringing back the trusty rulers. So mark 1 inch a couple times. And connect those lines. Just like that. So 1 line there. Then we're going to do 1 more inch up from that line. So my 3 points, and I'll connect those again. All right. Now, from each of the sides, I'm going to measure 1/2 inch in. So halfway through the inch, I'll make a mark, and I will do the same over on this side. And then for those lines, I'm going to connect the bottom and the top line. So it'll look like this. Just like that. Okay, here we have that. If you want, you can erase the extra that's outside. But that's optional. So now you have a big rectangle. The next thing we're going to do is measure 4 inches in from the left side. Measure 1, 2, 3, 4 inches. We'll make a mark there. And from the other side, we will also measure 4 inches. March here. And once again, we're going to connect the bottom to the top where we made that 4 inch mark. And you can erase this middle square as well. So now we have 2 different rectangles. Last measurement we'll do is we will measure 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch here, and we'll just keep measuring 1/2 inches until the entire rectangle is filled up. So it'll look like that. We'll do the same thing on this one. 1/2 inch. Okay. And we will connect those lines. Okay, so now we have 2 rectangles with 8 sections in each of them. You can label the first one tints, and you can label the second one shades. Tints are when you add white to a color and it becomes less saturated. So this will be a tint scale. We'll start with one bright color and gradually add white to it so it becomes less saturated. A shade is when you add black to a value. So it'll start out with the pure color and gradually it will get darker with the black that we add. So we're gonna leave that for a second. And now With a large yogurt container, we're going to put that in the center of our piece of paper and outline it as best as we can. Doesn't need to be perfect, so that we have a circle. This will be our color wheel. So we want our color wheel to have 6 different sections. So using our ruler again to get a straight line, we're going to try to just eye it. We want to make a horizontal line, meaning going from left to right, across the circle. Try to get it as close to the middle as possible, but it won't be perfect. So we have one horizontal line, and then measure that line you just made. So mine is a little bit over 5 inches, and try to find the center of that. So I'm gonna go roughly about 2.5 inches and make a little dot. We're gonna do that because next, we're going to make 2 diagonal lines that'll go through the center dot to make an X. So there's one, and there's 2. Not everything's going to be perfectly even, and that's okay. Do not stress about this needing to be perfect. That's not the goal here. The goal here is just to make a color wheel and to see how colors mix together. And the last thing we're going to do in setting up this color wheel is labeling where each of our colors will be. So we will be doing 3 of our primary colors and 3 secondary colors that come along with them. So start with the primary colors. Primary colors are blue, yellow, and red. So these are the colors that make all other colors. You can't mix together 2 colors to make blue, red, or yellow. So let's just start with one of those. It doesn't matter which one. I'm going to label this one blue. Next, we're going to skip one box because this is where a secondary color will be. And we're going to do another one of the primary colors. So I'll do red in this section. We're going to skip over this one and do our last primary color, yellow, in this last section. Now that we have blue, yellow, and red, we'll look at the sections in between and think about when we're just looking at blue and red, when we mix these 2 together, what does that make? Put that in the section in between those 2 primaries. So blue and red make purple. You can cover those ones up. Yellow and red will make orange. And last but not least, yellow and blue will make green. Great. And last thing we'll do before we move on to color mixing is label which of these are primary and which of these are secondary colors. So you can either put the whole word primary next to it, or you can put the letters P and S to signify primary and secondary colors. So with the blue, I'll try to P next to the red and P next to yellow, and I'll do an S next to purple, S next to orange, and S next to green. Okay, so here we have our setup for our color wheel. Now we're ready to move on to color mixing.